Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Elden Ring and we're doing another guide. Today it's going to be for Daggers. So if you've ever found yourself really loving to be that stealth approach, thief, assassin type person who uses a dagger as their main thing, or maybe you just love going with twin daggers because it's fun and there's a lot of cool finishing moves. Maybe you just want to find the best dagger. But whatever the case is, this video is going to be for you. I'm going to be ranking the 5 best ones that I've tested out and found to be very, very good daggers. And I'll show them to you. I'll tell you where to get them, or I'll show you where to get them if it's applicable. And we'll just go through their stats and everything. So to be clear, this video is trying to be as equal as possible. So I've got, on this account, I've actually got all of the stats at an equally high level. So you're not seeing a difference in just skill stacking for stats on these. So this is the most equal way to measure daggers. So we're just going to move through them one at a time. And the first one is just the plain dagger. So as you can see here, we have the dagger, and I've got it at plus 25. So it's all the way maxed up. And this one has a maximum attack power of 570. It's got a average guarded damage negation of 22.16. It's definitely a weapon that is very easy to get. Most people will have it at the beginning of the game because it can be picked up off a lot of enemies, or you can buy it, and I'll show you where to buy it. And it's not very expensive, and once it's been leveled all the way up, it's one of the best daggers in the game. So like I said, it made the top 5 list for daggers out of quite a few more than that. So it's definitely worth sticking with, and of course, you just gotta love the classic, actually real dagger look of it, because it doesn't have any extra embellishments. I mean, it's probably a little bit big for what I would consider to be a dagger in real life. And of course, like all things in Elden Ring, the blade is way too thick. Look at that blade. Ooh, boy, that's thick. But it does look very nice, and like I said, it's easy to get early game, so it makes sense to stick with it. So if you want to get this dagger, like I said, it can be looted off most human enemies, but if you want to get it reliably, you have to go to Round Table Hold, so obviously you'll have to progress through the main story long enough to get to that, which doesn't take very long. And then once you get there, you come over to these people, the Twin Maiden Husks, and it can be purchased here for only 400 runes. So it's definitely an easy dagger to get, like I said, very early in the game. You'll probably loot it off people too, but either way, this is an excellent dagger, and as you upgrade it, it becomes one of the best in the game, or it sticks with its same ranking as one of the best in the game. So that's number 5. Let's move on to the 4th best dagger. All right, and so for number 4, we have the Bloodstained dagger, which you can see I've got here in the hand. Again, it's got a pretty standard look to it, a little less so than the last one. This one looks a bit more like a machete, and it's definitely got a one-sided bevel to it, and it curves up slightly at the end, but it looks pretty cool, and its stats are excellent. So for this one, we've got a maximum attack power of 563, an average guarded damage negation of 23, and this one is relatively easy to get early in the game as well, because you get it as a loot drop. So if you want to pick up this dagger, you head over here. So I'm at the Weeping Peninsula. You can see that the closest site of grace is the south of the lookout tower, and you're going to want to go to this bridge over here before you get to the Erd Tree. So the minor Erd Tree here on the Weeping Peninsula is right there. There's this rope bridge on the approach, and if you kill the demi-human chief standing right there, you can see him jumping around in front of me. I don't know if he always drops this knife or just does it very frequently, but I've picked it up quite a few times from him. So basically, you just got to kill this guy and you'll get this dagger. So it's not very hard to get, like I said, early game, considering this this zone is actually one of the first ones I think most people will experience. Yeah, see, so I'm guessing he doesn't drop it every time, but the very first time I killed him, I was able to get this dagger, and I've gotten it other times from him. So if you want to pick this up, you come here. So if he doesn't drop it, just reload, fast travel back to the site of grace right here, and just keep trying it until you get the dagger. It's relatively easy to get, like I said, enemies not very hard to kill. So this dagger is definitely one that most people will probably have, and it is an excellent dagger, taking the 4th best spot. So let's move on to the 3rd best dagger. All right, and so for our 3rd best dagger, we have this one, the Scorpion Stinger. Now this is definitely the first on the list. That looks really stupid in my opinion. This would be a terrible weapon using it in real life. I mean, the tip is pretty pointy, but it's got these barbs all over it. It's a really weird shape. It's huge. It's really fat, especially at the base, so even if you did stab someone with it, it'd be pretty dang hard to get it in very far. So looks aside, this one definitely has decent stats and is a pretty unique weapon, so I know a lot of people like that unique factor, and so the Scorpion Stinger is going to be great for that. As far as stats go, this one has a maximum attack power of 635. It's got an average guarded damage negation of 23.67, and it can be found, this one can't be purchased anywhere, and it's not really a random drop, it can be found where I am on the map. So you can see I'm down in the underground region here below Liurnia. So if you go down here, basically there's a quest line that'll take you down here. It's Ronnie's quest line, and you'll have to get all the way over to the Nookstella waterfall basin, then make your way through to the Lake of Rot shoreside, and then you you literally need to cross the Lake of Rot, which is a giant lake full of scarlet rot, which is not fun. So you're going to want to keep the berries on you that help get rid of scarlet rot. And once you get all the way through, you're going to come over here to the Grand Cloister. Once you get to the Grand Cloister, you're going to have to go all the way to the bottom. So you basically ledge jump. You find your way until you get way down to the bottom over here. And it'll be in a chest. So I'm not going to go all the way down, but it's decently easy. It doesn't take very long. So you can see, basically just run, jump over to that side, kind of get down until you're able to drop down to that next ledge, and then the next ledge, and then you get down, and it's over, I want to say, it's not a very big area. I can't exactly remember where the chest was, but I think it's over this way, so in this direction here. So if you want to pick up this dagger, that's the only way to do it. So, I mean, it shouldn't take you long to explore this little area, my faulty memory aside, because it's not a very big area, and if you've made it all the way to this spot, you're probably decent at the game. So that is the third best dagger in the game. Let's move on to the second best one. So our runner-up at the number 2 spot is the Reduvia dagger. This one has a very, very unique look. It's very large. It's got a very jagged appearance. Follows the last one in that it would be a terrible real-life weapon. I mean, just look at it. It's super fat. It's got ridges pointing forward, which would make it almost impossible to stab someone with. And of course, it's not sharp at all. So in real life, this would be an absolutely atrocious dagger, but in the game, it's actually a pretty good one. So this one for stats has a maximum attack power of 652, an average guarded damage negation of 23.67. And this one is a little bit more complicated to get, so basically there are 2 ways to get this one. I picked up this dagger when some other player who already had it invaded me and I killed him, and then it dropped for me. So you can get it through player invasions, or right over here. So you see the Murkwater Cave here? It's the closest one. So here's the Gatefront Ruins, here's the Church of Ella, so that you kind of see where we are. So Murkwater Cave is right down here, and the NPC, the Bloody Hunter Neragus, will invade you if you come up this path here. So it doesn't work 100% of the time. Sometimes you'll have to go a couple times, fast travel out and then fast travel back in, but it works pretty consistently. So if you want to get this dagger, the best way is to come to this little river right here, like I said, by the Murkwater Cave, and just travel up this river to the north. He'll usually invade somewhere around here, and then once you've killed him, he'll drop this dagger for you, and then you'll have the second best dagger in the game. Like I said, not a great design for a real-life dagger, but it does work really well in the game, and it's got a couple advantages. So yes, it's very good as a stabbing weapon, as you can see. It definitely has its ranking earned by that alone, but it's also a special weapon, so if you want to range attack people with it, it works rather well for that. So definitely a weapon that I know a lot of people enjoy. Obviously, that range attack is pretty fun to use. And of course, when you're a high level like I am, it even works as a just primary weapon in a frontal assault. So yes, the second best dagger in the game is the Reduvia. All right, and so for our first one on this list, the one that I find to be the absolute best dagger in the game, it's another one with a terrible design unless you're trying to use it as some sort of a hook. We have the Ivory Sickle. And now this one, like I said, has a very unique appearance to it, being the least daggerish of any on this list, mostly because it looks like a hook, and daggers are typically a stabbing weapon, whereas this one at best would be a, I guess, chopping weapon, because you'd probably want to bring it down in an attack from above and pierce them with the point. On the bright side, it does have an advantage over the last two in the way that the point of it is actually sharp, and obviously hook-type weapons are a real thing, so it wouldn't actually be that terrible in real life. As far as stats go, this one has a maximum attack power of 671, and an average guarded damage negation of 21.83, so it's a little bit lower than the last two, but the attack is nice and high. And so to get this one is actually a decently simple one to get, especially kind of mid-game. So you're going to want to head over to this region here, the Liurnia region, and you're going to go over to this section, which I can't remember the name of, but it does actually have its own name, and make your way down to the village of the Albanorix, I think is how you pronounce that. And once you're here, there's this hill here, so you're going to want to go up this hill. It did stab with it instead of hooking, so definitely a weird way to attack with a dagger like this. But you make your way up here, and then it's behind one of these buildings here. You're going to find it. I think it was on someone's body or something. I think it was just sitting on the ground, like it wasn't in a chest. But yeah, it's decently easy to find. It'll just be sitting up here, and then you'll have the all-around best dagger in the game. Now, there are a couple other daggers that I'd like to say as honorable mentions, and one of them is the Crystal Knife, and the other one is the Misericordi. And so for the Crystal Knife, which is a lot of people's favorite, I personally don't like it because of the amount of times that the extra magic damage that it does don't actually affect things that you're attacking. So even though it would appear to have a better stat with that magic, there are certain things that it doesn't work on, and so it just ranks lower for me. But if you do like that and you are looking for something that deals that extra damage, then the crystal knife is one of the best in the game. And you can find it in a chest inside the Rhea Lucaria crystal tunnel. It'll be in a storage area 3 levels down, and there's going to be a bunch of marionettes around, so it's not actually that hard to get to because marionettes are decently easy to take care of. So if you want to get the crystal knife, that's the way to do it. Alright, and so for our final honorable mention, we have the Misericordi. Now this one almost made the list just because it's one of my personal favorites. I love the way it looks. It's got the long, slender design that would actually make it a really good dagger, and it does have actually pretty dang good stats. And if you want to get it, you got to head over to Stormvale Castle, which is somewhere you're going to probably get to pretty early in the game, and then you can find it looted off a corpse that'll be in the large armory room, which is next to the Fortress of the Many-Armed Keymaster. And you will actually need a stone sword key because it'll be locked behind a white fog that, you know, you got to put the stone sword key in one of the imps. So it's definitely a decently easy one to get. You'll probably find it naturally early in the game. So that is my list of top 5 daggers plus 2 honorable mentions. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope if you were looking for a dagger for your assassin build or whatever stealth thing you might be going for, I hope this list was helpful for that, and I hope I was able to show you decently accurately where to find these things. But with all that in mind, if you like this video, definitely leave a like. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, recommendations for future videos, leave those in the comment section below. And of course, if you like this content and haven't already, please subscribe to the channel now, and that way you'll be able to stay up to date on all the content I release going forward. So with all that in mind, thanks a ton for watching, and have a nice day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you like this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.